Welcome back to Making Events Awesome. I'm your host, Warwick Merry, CSP, CVP, and award winner. Yay. Hey, I love the definition of insanity that credited to Albert Einstein, where he says doing the same thing over and over again is insanity. And it was when you were expecting a different result. I've stuffed that quote up. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. There you go. That's the definition. And what I've found is when it comes to events, there is insane moments going on all over the place. And one of those is at registration and check-in. It drives me nuts when you rock up to check-in and you've got to enter the information that they've already got. And so this is what happens. And this is really relevant for expos, because expos nowadays have, instead of collecting the data, they'll have a little gun where they'll just zap your name badge. People are so tired of entering the same information in that they don't put any in. They'll put the bare essentials, their name, and half of it's fictional because they don't want to be stalked. So when you zap it to try and get data for people who are interested, it's not relevant, it's not accurate, or it's non-existent. Here's the insane piece. When you register for an event, you've got an IT system, you punch in all the details, you've got to give all the required details, and then you rock up on the day and you're expected to enter it again. It's worse than dealing with the bank. When you're going in there for a loan, you're an existing customer, they've got all your details on file, but they want you to re-enter it again. It's not like, I don't know if you've been to a hospital, unfortunately I have, and they're forever asking your name, date of birth, and address, but that's just to check that you're still conscious and relatively with it. This is just laziness is what it is. Okay. Let me take a breath. I'm getting a bit excited here. As a nerd, I know what computer systems can do, and they're really quite amazing. And there's so many ways to link certain computer systems to another. So if you're running an event, make sure you've integrated your existing database with your registration process, with your check-in process. Because here's the thing, half your clients or half your guests, you already know who they are. You already know the details. So as soon as they put in an identifier like their email or like their phone number, you can bring that information up for what you've already got on file. And it just saves them the pain of entering it all in. Or you just say a little message, we have your details on file. Here's the little bits that we need to know. So make it easy. This is getting back to something I talked about last time. Make it easy. You're right, Dave's so true. It's like their event registration can be just painful. So thanks for joining us, Dave. But yeah, it is about how do we just make it easy for our people to register, make it easy for them to check in, make it, it's like the Cheers bar where everyone knows your name. Like, we should be able to know your name because we've got your details, you've already registered, we already know who you are. So yeah, make it easy and make people feel loved, because what that'll do is we have your detail, it's already in there, we need you to update this little bit. So when it comes to the time at the expo where I'm zapping you with the gun, I have accurate details. So as an event organizer, you know that your data has been essentially cleansed and you've washed, you got rid of all the old stuff. It's got some detail in it for the exhibitors. So they're not taking away blank lists of dodgy phone numbers and dodgy email addresses. It doesn't take a great deal of effort. It might take a little bit of expense, but the investment is worth it, because once you've got the system set up, they're going to work. I'm a big fan of Eventbrite. There are other, Humanitix is another one that I haven't had much exposure with, but they donate money to a good cause. So if you're a smaller organization, you don't have your own registration system, using something like Eventbrite can be good because you get to keep a lot of that information. So once they've registered, you can export it and then import it into your check-in system. So you've got that detail. Make it easy. Stop the insanity of the double rego. So Dave's using the big digital event. Look, QR codes, they're really interesting. I've got to say, before the pandemic, QR codes in Australia, people were like, meh. But now everyone loves them, and because the thing is, we've trained people how to use them and how to scan them in. But again, you've got to make sure you've got an app that will take that information. So yeah, let me know how you go on that one, Dave, because QR codes can be for or against. Hey, some of the people who might have just joined us, basically my rant this morning was all about registration process and how often we already have the data for all the people, but we just don't use it. So make it easy for people to check in. So all they're going to do is crunch in a number, their phone number or their email address, and all the other details come up. That's really all I wanted to say for today. I just had to get that off my chest. I was thinking this morning about it, and I'm just like, oh man, this drives me nuts. You know, another thing that drives me nuts is people who are not taking advantage of some of the technology that's out there to make events awesome. I've got a Facebook group where a lot of us are contributing different ideas around Facebook, and not around Facebook, around events. Love you to come and join us. Making Events Awesome. Check it out. Just go to makingeventsawesome.com. It'll redirect you to the Facebook page. Love to have you join us. All right, that's it for today. Thanks very much for being here. It's been a delightful. Yes, and of course, Dave, you're in the evening. I know you're in the evening. We're in the future. You're in the past, Dave. Come on, get with the future, my friend. That's all right. You've got Time Lords over there. They can sort of do whatever they want. All right, that's it for today. Thanks, everyone, for being here. Hope you enjoyed it. Again, share the love. Let people know about all the stuff going on. I'll be back again next. When am I back? Next Thursday. Next Thursday, 9 a.m. Melbourne time, which for Dave is in the evening on a Wednesday night. So, you know, and for you, could be a different time completely. Thanks for being here. This is my end of live stream dance because LinkedIn really cuts it off really quick. And I have to explain every time I do this because people are like, what are you dancing at the end of the screen for? So anyway, dancing away. Thanks for being here. It's been delightful. You've been fantastic.